we're back.
We're here.
With more Constantine. This is issue 45 of Hellblazer. We are on part 5 out of 6 of Dangerous Habits.
It's almost over. I can't believe it.
That happened quick. It felt like it happened really, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
We had a comment from one of our last videos. Actually, the last one that you and I were on together. Because we like to shake it up. We'll try to shake it up this time. We're doing 3 people. We're doing different combinations of 2 people and, spicing it up. We had a comment from Ryan Gaw last time. I assume it's Gaw, G-A-W. Aaron, amazing job filling in. All of you do great, informative work. Ryan, as always, killing it, man. That is from a Ryan to a Ryan. So
Ryan's killing the game. He's
my favorite Ryan, too. He knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what did I miss? What did I miss last time? Because I was not here. It's just you and Tom.
Yes, just me and Tom last week. We covered a lot. He said goodbye to his friends. He said goodbye to Chaz. Said goodbye to Matt in the cancer ward, to his sister. Couldn't say goodbye to his niece because he couldn't bear it. Couldn't bear it.
Yeah, that issue was a severe downer. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember reading that one.
Yeah. Makes a few deals. Goes to a house. Goes to a haunted house and makes a couple of deals with a couple of important pillars of the Hell community.
The Hell community.
And then he kills himself, or he slices his wrists, and Satan shows up.
It's a pretty hardcore way to end an issue.
Yeah, it was like, I actually, to be honest, I had to read ahead.
Yeah, that also was very hard to stop. Like, okay, we're done now. Let's stop and podcast this. And it's just like, no. What happens? Flip the pages.
Yeah, exactly.
But thankfully, we finally got to read what happened next.
We did.
It got weird. That's kind of what you could say about every issue of Hellblazer. I'm learning.
Yeah.
As time goes on, it just gets weirder and weirder. How does this one start?
Stepping in a pool of blood.
Ugh.
Devil's blood pisses onto the floor.
Out of his own veins, correct?
Apparently.
They mentioned this at the end. His blood is altered in some way.
He has demon blood.
That explains what that line means, because otherwise that makes no sense to an uninitiated reader such as myself.
That's why he got so upset when the doctor called him in like issue 1 or 2.
Right.
He was like, "It's demon blood!"
Yeah. That's exactly how I remember that going down.
Yeah.
So he's hanging out, dying on the floor, and the devil shows up.
Well, he's already shown up, but yeah, he's here. He wants to watch him die. He wants to see this through. He's waiting. He has a claim on his soul, and well, somebody shows up, and it's one of the demons that he made a deal with already.
Right, in the last issue.
Exactly, from the last issue. So it's one of the extras. Okay. Satan doesn't like this. He's immediately like, "Hey, what the hell?"
So these are like the 3 leaders of hell,
like a balance,
like a triumvirate.
Mm-hmm.
So none of them have like overall all power.
Right.
They kind of share, and there's a balance. Yeah.
Maybe it's not hell, but they have their own dominions or their own like balances that they bring.
Kind of like how it's done in the Marvel universe with Mephisto and Hela, and everyone's got their own little section of the underworld.
Exactly.
Their domain. It would appear that he sold his soul, so to speak, to each one of these beings.
Right. So what I always thought was Satan is just going to come get him because Satan's pissed.
Right.
But it turns out that Satan has a special claim on John Constantine because it's called right to insult is what he calls it.
Okay.
And then the second shows up, and the second is like, I have him by contract, and they start arguing. Oh, well, I have, rights to insult. And then a third shows up. John's like, well, just fucking wait. And
this guy also.
So he made contracts with 2 and 3. So third shows up. They're like, "Hey, Satan, really, what the hell are you doing here?" And he's like, "Right to insult."
We both have contracts. What do you got?
Yeah.
Something happened, but it's not important.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal, and he's mine. Let's just leave it at that.
And of course, John Constantine has to tell them more specifically.
Like, no. If you don't tell them, I'm gonna tell them, bitch. So let's see what happens.
So he tells his story. He's obviously, when I say he, I mean Satan's obviously embarrassed by this.
This is the whole Brendan situation where he went down underneath that well of holy water.
Yeah.
Right, and tricked Satan into drinking holy water.
Exactly.
Like 2 or 3 issues ago.
He's embarrassed by this. He's like, "Hey, don't tell him or I'm going to make your afterlife even worse." Like, as if that was even like on the table. Like, obviously it's going to be the worst no matter what. So
super bad. Like,
it's going to be extra bad. Like, it's already bad. It's
You're
fine.
double grounded, mister. I know how that goes. Yeah.
2 weeks.
3 weeks. Keep it up, Buster. basically what's happening here.
So they tell him the story. His brothers are making, just jibing him a little bit. LOL, you suck.
But they kind of come to the realization that no one of them has
Right.
an overall claim on
Exactly.
Constantine's soul. So they kind of get in an argument.
Yeah, they argue for a little bit. They start discussing like what the aftermath could be, what the options kind of are. John Constantine's really playing on their stubbornness and their pride in this matter. So he's basically coaxing them to come to the resolution that he wants them to make. We as the readers aren't 100% sure what's going on at this point when this argument's occurring, but it's kind of coming full circle. We're seeing the complexities of the plan. He's kind of laid it out for us. And in this sequence, they're arguing a lot. Something that I really liked about this is the different colored text boxes for each brother, especially because there's the shapeshifter.
Very helpful.
He steers the conversation back to, well, you guys, because he's like, he knows he's dying. So he's like, I need to steer this conversation back around. He's like, guys, there's a problem. Do you not see the problem?
Time is running out.
Problem. And so he kind of turns it on them and he starts making fun of them. He's like, well, so Satan made a mistake, right? He let me trick him, but like I tricked you guys. You guys are the tricked.
The dupers and the dupies.
You guys got duped, double dupe.
Double
This
duped.
is where my favorite panel comes in because he points at the shapeshifter I think it's number 3, and it's just like offended snake panel. Yeah, the snake's just like,
You dare accuse me?
I am not the duped. And it's just this really offended snake. Like it's the
Angry snake.
It's offended. It's like it's
There you
anger and offense, and I don't know. I just really like that panel. I see the emotion from the snake.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could go with it.
He's poking them like, hey, you know what? You guys screwed up just as much as he did. But you guys did it because of your selfishness, your eagerness to just, snap it up. You guys are rookies. You're acting like rookies. You guys are all rookies.
Constantine's kind of like a celebrity, right? In the
Yeah.
hell world. So each one of them's like, I want him in my corner.
Exactly. I really love this sequence. I really love the dialogue here. There's just a lot of insult and a lot of like biblical insults, which I think is funny. So anyone who like has any type of like background understanding,
The humor works on a couple different levels.
definitely
for
like
those people.
It's like Nazarene's piss. Like it's like that's holy water. It's like, okay.
He's angry.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
is the devil. I guess he'll be angry.
Yeah.
So what is the end result?
They basically all express their fears. So number 2 is mostly afraid of war. They're like, the war's going to be, if we fight, if we have to duke it out over this, the war's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
3 is scared of, okay, fuck the war. Like, if we all fight, God's going to get pissed at us. He's going to step in.
Uh-oh.
We know he's more powerful. We know that ultimately the above is more powerful than us, and they're going to step in. We're going to become the slaves. We're going to be slaves to Constantine.
They kind of have the motto down there, like better to rule in hell than be a slave in heaven.
Exactly.
Yeah.
John Constantine says, like, I don't think they'd give you back your halos.
So the only
whatever
solution
happens.
for them really is to make it so Constantine does not die.
Yep, he's baiting them into that. He says, "Come on, you bastards, bite."
It's his idea for
Yeah.
this solution, but he knows that if he suggests it, that they will immediately shoot it down. So they have to kind of come to this decision on their own to make it so Constantine does not die.
And he's applying that pressure. He's like, "TikTok, guys, like I'm gonna release my hand off my."
Yeah, he like
my
cuts
bleeding
himself
wrist.
even further,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Like it gets kind of.
Yeah. Everyone's desperate right now. Constantine's desperate.
Yeah, this whole issue probably only takes place within like what, five
Yeah,
minutes
this
or
is
less.
quick.
Like however long it takes someone to bleed out after cutting their wrists.
This is clutch decision making for
Right.
sure. Yeah. I love this last. It's just them. They're all thinking. You can see it on this panel. They're all just like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I liked that part when they all kind of break off and do their own deliberation between the 3
Mm-hmm.
of them, and they do come to the ultimate realization that the only way anybody can kind of make it out of this unscathed is if Constantine goes back to life. If he doesn't die right now.
Yeah. Like they're like, we need more time.
Right.
So their way of getting more time is to just we'll just cure the cancer. And
Yeah, they cure his cancer. They stitch up his arm.
Yeah.
Like the devil gets in there. It was actually my favorite part of the issue was the devil kind of like operating on Constantine. That's a generous word. That's not what happens. He kind of gets his fingers in there, and it's painful.
yeah, he goes
And
for it.
There's very descriptive text of how this feels. He describes snapping bones like tree trunks. and just very, very overly descriptive, I would even suggest. And that makes it like kind of queasy, at least for me, to read that stuff. It worked. Let's put it that way. It felt rough.
I like that they all have the same energy when they're healing him too. Like they all have the same like light beam come out of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Evil powers.
They're like, fine.
We'll heal you.
Just, yeah.
Kind of the end result is his cancer's cured. His wrists are no longer bleeding and killing him. But yeah, it ends with him just kind of walking away from all three of these evil spirits. He can't resist. Instead of just walking away and being done with it, he kind of turns around and is like, oh yeah, one more thing. Boom.
Up yours.
Up yours, Satan. That's how it ends. Him flipping off the devil. Just doesn't seem like a good idea.
I mean, I wouldn't.
He's kind of riding high with this feeling. Like none of them want me dead now because this will just spur on this underworld war.
I think they want him dead.
Yeah, they want him dead, but none of them can have that happen without completely destroying their way of life.
And that was something we discussed a couple of episodes ago about how his ultimate, like, I think his resolution is, oh my God, no matter what, I'm gonna die. Like, whether it's from this cancer right now or later, somebody's waiting for me and I have to do something about it. So he bought himself more time. At the end of this issue, I don't feel like he's resolved anything. I definitely just feel like he's bought himself significantly more time.
Just kicked the can a little further down the road.
Yes. Yeah. So he makes this deal, but we're not certain as the reader specifically what it was. Like, even last issue, it's a secret deal. It's a mysterious deal. It doesn't give us the details. He just says, made the deal. Yeah. Then called number 3, made the deal.
It's a tremendous deal.
Yeah. Does he trade it for cancer cure, or does he just, what does he get in return? I'm curious as a reader. I guess you'd have to read further to find out if he actually did get something else.
True. Don't read ahead.
Don't read ahead.
That's what I got to keep telling myself.
Yeah. I mean, the real question for that brings up to me is like, what would I sell my soul for? And I wonder what the readers think of that.
What would you sell your soul for?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm asking
At
you.
what point?
Like,
what would I
what
sell
would you
my
sell
soul
your soul
for?
Now I got to think of an answer.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think I'd sell. Oh, I know.
Nothing.
70 more years on my cat's life.
Oh.
I would sell my soul for my cat to live exactly as long as me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid one.
I think that's the most unfair part of being alive and being a person is that the pets don't live as long as we do. That's unfair.
Amen to that. Rainbow's the best.
Guys, did you guys know that he's 20 years old?
That's an old cat. He's an
old man.
awesome cat. Mm-hmm. Anyway, while you're down there letting us know what you would sell your soul for, don't forget to like and subscribe. You should always be doing those things. You know what else you should always be doing?
Geeking responsibly.
Enough? Said. I'm just going through some comic books here, and I just so happen to have the hot key going in the November mystery mail call. Batman Adventures, number 12, first appearance of Harley Quinn. Link is in the bio. Sign up. Join the community.